In a meeting room inside the Gaylord Texan Hotel in the Dallas suburb of Grapevine, the members of the College Football Playoff Selection Committee will wrap up 2 days together on Tuesday by coming up with the chosen 4. Actually, the group produces a top 25 for the next 5 weeks that is fodder for an hour-long ESPN show that airs at 7 p.m. leading up to the big reveal on Selection Sunday on December 3rd. Georgia fans haven't had much reason to pay attention to the proceedings during the first 3 years of the playoffs' existence. The Bulldogs' highest ranking ever is number 9 on November 25, 2014, and they didn't make the playoff rankings the last 2 years. Now the Bulldogs are very much a player now in the playoffs' 4th season. Projections have the 80 Bulldogs being ranked either number 1 or 2 in the first rankings. At this point, with 4 regular season games to play and championship Saturdays still to go, how much does it really matter? Should Halloween trick-or-treating be delayed or a ringing doorbell for kids hoping for Hershey Kisses or Skittles be ignored? To tune in to find out if Ohio State, Clemson or Oklahoma may be number 4, or is this all for show? It's substantive because fans, players and coaches deserve to know what the committee ranks, College Football Playoff Executive Director Bill Hancock said in a phone interview. If we didn't do in-season rankings, then folks would tend to think the coaches and reporters were the rankings. We didn't want that. And we just didn't want to drop rankings on people the first week in December without them having the chance to know how the committee thinks. Georgia coach Kirby Smart was asked Monday if he likes getting a snapshot of the committee's thinking at this stage of the season. "No, not really," he said. "It just matters how we finish." The 13 men who will make the decision, former Secretary of State Condoleezza Rice served on it from 201,416 but cycled off, can snack on pretzels, cookies, and fruit when chewing on resumes and factors like strength of schedule, conference championships, head-to-head results, games against common opponents and various metrics. Hancock said ranking the teams weekly allows the committee members even more of a chance to know the teams, and by the end of the season, there is no detail that escapes the committee's knowledge. To avoid distractions, Hancock said cell phones aren't permitted in the meeting room, but committee members can catch up with the outside world during breaks. Some members are recused at times to a nearby room, where there are refreshments, a TV and newspapers, during certain discussions to avoid potential conflicts. Former Virginia Tech coach Frank Beamer, in his first year on the committee, will step away when Georgia or Virginia Tech is deliberated. His son, Shane Beamer, is Georgia's tight ends coach and special teams coordinator. One thing is certain: if Georgia keeps winning, it is a lock. Whether a lost Georgia team would get in if it loses to Alabama in the SEC championship would leave more room for mystery. Georgia inside linebacker Reggie Carter said the team isn't worried about the rankings now. "That will handle itself," he said. "We're just worried about our opponents. When guys start thinking about their ranking and everything," offensive guard Solomon Kindley said, "they forget what got them there, what made us work hard, what got them to this point now." Hancock was executive director for the Bowl Championship Series, which relied on polls and computer rankings to produce a national title matchup. "Now the playoff team are picked by each member's subjective opinion," he said. The 13-person committee includes 5 former coaches and 5 current athletic directors, including committee chair Kirby Hockett, the Texas Tech athletic director. Former USA Today college football reporter Steve Weberg is on the committee but was absent this week due to health reasons, according to ESPN.com. New members this year include Robert Morris University president Chris Howard and Ohio State athletic director Gene Smith. The most contentious debates that Hancock can remember in the 3 seasons so far: in 2014, 121 Ohio State got in as the 4th team ahead of 111 Baylor and 111 TCU, with the Buckeyes' strength of schedule and a Big Ten championship win over Wisconsin boosting its cause. Up for debate last year, the committee picked Alabama, Clemson, Ohio State and Washington, leaving 112 Penn State out. The Nittany Lions didn't get selected despite beating Ohio State, winning the Big Ten title, and Washington having a softer schedule. Both of those issues were legitimate issues where smart people could take either side, Hancock said. The selection committee announces not only playoff semifinal matchups but New Year's Bowl pairings. 2 teams from the same conference have never made the playoff in the same year, but that could change with Alabama and Georgia. "Nothing precludes it," Hancock said before a weekend that include Penn State and TCU suffering their first losses. "Our charge is to pick the best 4 teams, period. There are no restrictions on that. I wouldn't be surprised if eventually we will have 2 teams from the same conference. When that might happen, nobody knows. It's certainly way too early to speculate this year because there's so much football to be played." All about results. Smart is focused on just that, the games including Saturday's home contest against South Carolina, and not any rankings. It's just a distraction, so it is just a matter of who can manage it best and which team is mature enough to handle it because it has zero outcome on performance on Saturday, he said. It's only a distractive measure that we have to contend with. Alabama coach Nick Saban struck a similar tone Saturday. I couldn't care less about the poll, Saban said, according to the Tuscaloosa News. What difference does it make? You won't see me wasting any time watching TV. Hancock was told that many coaches react that way. Coach speak, he said laughing, has never changed.